The group was the Yardbirds. Yes, I know this is supposed to be about Led Zeppelin, but to know what came after, you have to know what came before. So, as I was saying, the group was the Yardbirds, and some of the greatest guitar players came out of this group: Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, and of course Jimmy Page. It is often thought the Yardbirds, in a sense, actually became Led Zeppelin. I mean, everyone else had left, so it was just Jimmy Page who was left in the Yardbirds, and that was around 1968. So Jimmy Page found himself in charge of the band, managerially, and invited John Bonham, John Paul Jones, and Robert Plant to play. They began calling themselves the New Yardbirds, and they prepared for a tour of Scandinavia to honor the remaining contractual obligations of the Yardbirds band. And this is where Jimmy Page pretty much figured out the first Led Zeppelin album while on tour. Jimmy told Ultimate Guitar, "So when we were playing in Scandinavia, we were out there as the New Yardbirds. It was a cloak of invisibility, really, and even on the first recordings it said New Yardbirds on the box, because I didn't want anybody to know what the name of the band was until we really officially unveiled it." Becoming Led Zeppelin became a lot easier when Chris Dreja, who was part of the original New Yardbirds lineup after Jeff Beck left the group, filed a cease and desist order to keep Jimmy Page from using the name the New Yardbirds, so evidently Led Zeppelin came out of the box, and that's what they were called after that. In this new incarnation, Jimmy wanted to do something different, to plot a new course from what the old Yardbirds had been doing. Now, it is often said that it was Keith Moon that had said the now famous words that any group formed by Jimmy Page would sink like a lead balloon. Jimmy Page often mentions the fact when subject comes up that Keith Moon fathered the Led Zeppelin's name. Evidently, Keith had brought the name up before in a conversation with Jimmy about having a band that was named Led Zeppelin. There was at one point a chance that a supergroup was talked about with Keith Moon, John Entwistle, Jeff Beck, and Jimmy Page. But that never came about, and the Led Zeppelin name stayed inside Jimmy Page's head, and a good thing, too. They did at one time go by another name other than Led Zeppelin, and that was when they were playing a show in Copenhagen, and evidently a Danish countess whose surname was von Zeppelin did not appreciate the band using the Zeppelin name, especially after she saw the album cover of the burning Zeppelin. I guess the family was one of the inventors of the dirigible. To prevent an international incident from happening that night, they all went on stage and played as the Knobs, specifically to avoid legal action from the Countess. Well, there you have it. Probably most of you already knew it, but it's still nice to talk about how they got their name. Till next time.